any questions for Jeff Brom of the XFL?
No. Why does Florida State hate me so much?
Well, let me answer that question by asking you two questions. One, is this or is this not the XFL? Yes, it is. Two, do I or do I not currently have a pulse? Yes, I do. Let's play football.
We're going to start on the college side with the host of College Shame Day. So, Scott, Elliott, if you'd like to take it away.
Absolutely, Reid. And thank you for having me join on this fantastic hangover special. I am going to just rattle off my thoughts on all the top 25 games from this past weekend, and we'll save the best for last as far as the games of the week from last week. Oregon, Purdue, 35-0. Are you surprised?
No. Can't be surprised.
No. Your BYU winning in late fashion against Oklahoma State, 38-35. Another one of those great games that you never expect on a Friday night, and I couldn't get enough of Retzlaff, BYU. gotta love a Christian university with the Jewish man at the helm.
BYU is incredible.
But after that, Georgia, Texas. Texas was seeing ghosts. Quinn Ewers got the start. Got Arch Manning in there for a little bit, and he looked like that old Eli Manning picture when he's on the sidelines. Looks dazed and confused. He didn't know where the hell he was at. Of course, Georgia came out on top, 30-15. Miami better be happy that they have Cam Ward at quarterback because their defense looks suspect, and they almost got exposed again this week. But they edged out the Louisville Cardinals, 52-45. Hey, we always edge up in here. Speaking about edging, Tennessee 24-17 over Alabama. Alabama, I guess you can call them Alabama now because they keep dropping these games. I mean, this is a second loss in 3 weeks. But this was to be expected, right? I mean, where are you at as far as your thoughts on Alabama? I mean, they dropped 8 spots. We'll get into it a little bit more in a deeper dive for Shame Day. No spoiler alert. They may or may not be my team to watch for the rest of the season here.
Really?
But, are they doing better than you thought they would be with Kalen DeBoer with his first season at the helm?
To be honest, no. They're a little. I want to say that they're disappointing, right? Because it's Alabama, so naturally you're always thinking that Bama's going to be this world beater. They're going to be the conqueror,
right?
And it's the go-to. But in a way, I was kind of expecting. And maybe I was just more hoping that Kalen DeBoer was all of a sudden going to be even better than Saban. Kalen DeBoer is going to come in here because I really enjoyed Kalen DeBoer at Washington. I thought he was a really fun, passionate, good head coach. Of course, there's going to be stumbling points and things to figure out as you're getting out of the shadow of Nick Saban here at Bama. But if you think about it, Bama wasn't that. They weren't the Bama of old. They weren't the Bama that we thought they were last year when they made it into the playoff. We talked about that a lot at the end of the season, and they were a shell of themselves, and They still are. They brought that shell into the season. Kalen DeBoer inherited that, maybe even lost a couple pieces because it wasn't Saban at the helm. So they're doing their best. They can still be a contender in a way, but this wasn't the L to take, I don't think, this weekend. I'm curious to hear even more, from you whenever on how they can still tackle everything.
Well, you know what? You know where you can hear that? You can hear that on a Saturday morning while you're making your eggs and your toast and you're enjoying College Game Day, who they'll be at in Indiana. And first of all, shame on College Game Day for going to Indiana now because Shame Day went there first.
That's right. We've been on Indiana.
We gave them their props weeks in advance. So don't start jumping on the train now. Pat McAfee and Ben.
You notice everybody's calling Indiana all of a sudden potentially the best team in the nation.
Hey, they're up there.
They're up there, and there's a lot of people jumping on this train, and it pisses me off. I heard Jessica Smetana on Gen CFB talk about Indiana might be the best team in the nation. No. Scott Ellia of College Shame Day was on that train first. You can sit, you can come on the train and sit, but nah.
There's only one conductor here.
That's right.
That's right. Going and rattling off the rest of these games, LSU, Arkansas, 34-10. No surprise there. Man, congrats, Brian Kelly. Iowa State, UCF, that game was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. They ended up squeezing that win out 38-35 over UCF. Clemson, of course, beat UVA 48-31. Notre Dame, Georgia Tech. Okay, cool, whatever. Texas A&M, Mississippi State. Mississippi State is 1-6 on the season. They kept it close. Only lost by 10. And going back to Indiana, Nebraska, everyone was talking about Dylan Raiola and his best Pat Mahomes impression and how Nebraska's back, but they got crushed by a now 7-0 Kurt Signetti head coach Indiana Hoosiers team, 56-7. They did not let the gas up one bit, and I'm very excited to see what Indiana has in store for the rest of the season. Kansas State, West Virginia, 45-18. No surprise there. The Auburn-Missouri game was a lot closer, and I think we all thought this was a game that me and you talked about last week on Shame Day, where Missouri might be caught with their pants down and be exposed for the frauds that we thought they are. But, of course, they battled back in the fourth quarter and won 21-17. SMU, 30-point victory over Stanford. Again, Michigan, congrats to Illinois, 21-7. And I'm just saying, you look at Michigan's record right now, Reid, and they've lost 2 in a row ever since we exposed them for stealing a parlay wheel on Shame Day.
They need to get Connor. They need to get a. Well, that's true. That part too. But they need Connor Stallions back.
Oh God, I don't think anyone needs Connor Stallions back. And then the meat and the potatoes, the rest, the cherry on top. What you don't go to Texas Roadhouse for the dinner. You go there for the rolls. You go there for the butter. You go there for the signature. And the signature for College Shame Day is the game of the week. And like we talked about last week, this is the first time ever that we had a games of the week, because these two teams we need to highlight a little bit more with Army and Navy. Number 23 Army defeated East Carolina 45-28. Bryson Daly, the quarterback, rushed for five touchdowns. Is a career high for him.
Oh, damn.
I mean, you watch that offense, and it looks like you're watching 1940s, like triple option offense. I don't even know how to digest it. Army set a single season. He also set Army's single season rushing touchdown record with 19. Previous record was 17. We still got like 6 games to go. Ran for 171 on 31 carries, marking his 6th straight 100-yard rushing game. I wish I could put player props down for college football on FanDuel, because I think that's just an automatic win. Take the over 100 yards for him for rushing.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, they approved 7-0, 6-0 in the American Conference, extending the nation's longest win streak to 11 games. They led by 24-0 at halftime with touchdowns from Daly and a field goal by Trey. What's his last name? Trey Gronat, something like that. Either way, East Carolina. I mean, Caden Hauser, his first start struggled a little bit, but he ended up throwing for just under 300 yards and 3 second half touchdowns, which, you know, when you're down by that much, you got to start airing the ball out. Up next for Army, they have Air Force, November 2nd. They got a bye week right now. And then East Carolina will be hosting Temple on October 26th. And then we go from land to sea, and we go with the Navy, number 25, defeating Charlotte 51-7. 51-7. And you want to point the finger like, okay, well, who's the MVP of that game? Because quarterback Blake Horvath, he threw for 3 touchdown passes, completed 7 of 13 for 117 yards. And you're like, well, where did the 51 points come from? Well, that came from on the back of cornerback Deshaun Peel, who returned 2 interceptions for touchdowns, one of which being 61 yards, and the other was an 84-yard scamper back into the end zone. And he was the first Navy player to actually achieve something like that. So congrats to you, Deshaun. That's great. Navy is now bowl eligible for the first time since 2019. And it's the first time they've been ranked in the top 25 since that 2019 season as well. And this is what we talked about on Shame Day. I mean, you are setting yourself up where you could have Army Navy battling it out for the American Conference title. One of them might still be unbeaten. College football playoff implications are tied to that. I think that's what the nation, it's an election year. There's more divisiveness than ever right now. Let's put an American team in there to try to bridge the gap. How's that sound?
It's my favorite excuse for anything. It's an election year. Let's make this happen. It's weird. Things can happen. Yeah, Navy was looking good. I like Corvath there. And I am legitimately wondering if there's a shot for them for either to get into the college football playoff. I think this weekend is going to be a major showcase for that. And potential for it with Navy playing Notre Dame.
Right. And that's why I should have looked ahead to this week's schedule just in case Navy were to win. They're playing Notre Dame in MetLife this weekend. I would have easily made that the Shame Day game of the week. But I don't like to duplicate teams as much as I can help it. So unfortunately, they are out of the running for the game, the official game of the week. But I will be watching that game very closely because not only Navy do they have Notre Dame in the way this week, but Army will be playing Navy in 3 weeks or 4 weeks after their bye week.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's one huge obstacle that both of these teams need to overcome. But I mean, if you're Notre Dame and you get beat by not only Army and Navy in the same season, but you also have to deal with that crushing loss that they had earlier on against Northern Illinois at home, week 2. It's just like, where's the consistency? Like,
that's the name of the game. There is no consistency.
It's like you go out there and you beat ranked at that point. They were ranked 15th, Louisville 31-24. They crushed Purdue 66-7 and Stanford 49-7. But then like you barely put up 14 points in Northern Illinois. And then if you drop both Navy and Army, and you play Florida State after the Navy game, if you lose to those 3 teams, it's just like it would be very worried for any coach on that in that coaching room.
It's going to be it's a concern. It's a concern at the very least. I am curious, as we go through all the college and going back to Indiana a little bit. As much as we love Indiana, right? And we put so much faith and investment into them. Curtis Rourke is injured, their quarterback. How is that going to affect them going forward?
It's not going to be good.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good. I mean, especially because, Curtis Rourke was one of those players that was starting to come out where he was getting some Heisman hype right now. I meant to actually double check to see if there was any update for his injury at this point. I don't know what's come out. I think it's only going to be 1 game though, because it was just a thumb on was it his throwing hand?
I think it is his throwing hand.
Yeah, so he'll miss at least 1 week. I mean, this week for Indiana, they do have a fairly decent schedule from here on out. I mean, they're playing Washington at home, which is a game that could get out of control real quick. But I mean, you look at the rest of the slate of games after that: Michigan State on the road, at home against Michigan, on the road against Ohio State, and then closing out against Purdue. Like, at least he's picking a okay time to get hurt.
Yeah, that's the least you can ask for.
Right. I mean, I still have full faith in Indiana being able to, handle their business against Washington, especially since they'll be at home, get them some extra time to recuperate, let them enjoy Halloween week, and then get the ball rolling as we start hearing Mariah Carey slowly out of everyone's speakers once November hits.
She's defrosting.
She's coming.
She's coming for you.